Welcome to Stillworks and Brewing. My name is Randy, and this is a channel that's all about home distillation and brewing. So what do we got going on today? Well, today we're going to answer a question. I've been getting questions on how do I come up with recipes and how much do I know how much to use? Okay, so that's what we're going to get into today. But first things first, there's always 5 things you really do to help this channel out. Number 1, please hit that subscribe button. Number 2, hit that notification bell. Share us with your friends. If you like what you see, give us that thumbs up. And of course, leave a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Okay, so what I normally do is, I guess I got to figure out what product do I want. I mean, do I want a whiskey, a bourbon, some rum, or a neutral spirit, whatever the case may be. So that's the very first thing that I try to put in my head. So in this case, I wanted a bourbon of some type. So the next question is, do I want, straight bourbon, or do I want to flavor it with something? Hey, sweet potatoes. That sounds good. And just in thinking, I think this time I might try to back sweeten it with a little bit of maple syrup, just to give it that little extra taste that we were looking for. And now we have a plan. Let's get started. Okay, so we got our plan. What ingredients do we need to have? Well, since we're making a bourbon, you got to have corn. And we're going to use some 6-row. And I'm thinking we're going to put some wheat in there, and of course, sweet potatoes. Okay, so now, after we got the ingredients we need, we're going to need to figure out how much of each do we need, okay? Okay, so some of the numbers that we got to have to figure this out is, and we're going to go through all these numbers. The first thing we're going to need is our target number, and I'm going to explain to that. The size of the mash and the ingredients, pounds per gallons numbers, okay? That last one, you can find them online. There's lists out there that says corn has like 29 gravity points to it. Barley, 35 or 25 pounds per gallon points, and so on and so on. Okay, so that's the first number you need. Now we're going to go to the chalkboard and we'll run through these numbers, and we'll go figure this out. Okay, so the very first thing we need to know is our target, because that's where you're going to get your ABV and all that. So we're going to say 1.090. That's going to be our target. So the first thing we're going to do, let's get rid of that. So our target number is going to be 90. So we're going to have a 6-gallon mash, right? So 90 times 6 is 540 points. 540 points, okay? And that would be if you could get, well, it's 540 points, all right? So next step we need to do is, we're saying that our brew house efficiency to get all the points out of the grain is 75%. So if we take a 540 points times 25%, that's going to equal 135, okay? And this is points per gallon is what we're figuring. Okay, so if we add the 540 plus the 135, 675 points. That's what we need to do this brew to hit our target of 1.090, okay? So that is our first figuring, okay? You got that? So let's go over it again. We want 90 points for our gravity. Times 6 gallon is 540. Our brew house efficiency is, we're saying 75%. So 540 times 25% equals 135. We're going to add that to the 540. You add them together, 675 points, okay? All right, this all will clear up as we get down the line, all right? So let me get rid of some of that information. We'll start on the next part of the. Okay, so next, what we got to figure out next. We know we got 4 ingredients. We got corn, barley, wheat, and sweet potatoes. Now you can do this one or two ways. You can do an average, or you can do each individual. I did an average. Okay, corn, I got the chart that I was reading. I get 29 pounds per gravity. Back up, pounds per gallon gravity points. The barley, I should get 35. The wheat, I should get 39. And sweet potatoes, which I thought was a little bit low, but everything I read, it is 8. So if we do an average of that, it comes out to 27.7. All right, so let's just say 28. Okay, so now we got those figures. Points from the pounds per gallon that we figured out before, we're going to put there, divided by, like we said, we're going to change that to 28. So it's the 675 divided by the 28 equals 24.1 pounds of grain, of ingredients we're going to need, okay? So in this run for our sweet potato mash, that's what we ended up with, is 24 pounds of the different ingredients. All right, so now let's show you how I figure out what ingredients I'll. Okay, so the way I figured the last of it is, here we got our ingredients, right? Now we already said we needed, what was it? 24 pounds, right? Okay, so if our corn, 24 pounds times 50% equals 12 pounds. Barley, 24 pounds times 20% would be 5 pounds. Wheat times 5 would be 1.2. And the sweet potatoes would be 5.8 pounds. So now you know what you got to get from your, wherever you get your ingredients from. Okay, and they're not, you know, I'm not going to buy, 5.8 exact pounds of sweet potatoes. You round up, round down, whatever you want to do, okay? But this gets you in the ballpark, and it seems to work pretty good for me, okay? Like I said, that will get you in the ballpark of what you need to buy. And then, after you make that one time, if you feel, hey, I need to bump this up or bump this down, keep your notes, and you can do whatever you need to do to make that perfect, perfect product that you want to make. Okay. I guess the last thing I need to say then, try this out with your next recipe and see if it works out for you. All right, so the last thing I got to say, hey, thanks for stopping by, and we're going to see you next time here on Stillworks and Brewing. Thanks.